Good morning. It's a cold start to the day. Temperatures last night fell to almost -10 in parts of the Highlands. For many of us, it's a dry start, but we do have some rain coming in from the west, accompanied by strengthening winds. I'll have all the details throughout this morning's programme. Maybe by a couple of seconds, John. Yes. Good morning, everybody. It is a cold start to the day, though, wherever you are, more or less, this morning. The exception to that's Northern Ireland, Western Scotland and Southwest England, where the temperatures are a little bit higher. So a chilly start, a frosty one. Last night, temperatures in both Braemar and Balmoral fell to between -9 and -10 degrees, making it the coldest night of this winter so far. We've also got some rain not far away from Northern Ireland now, just coming in from the south. It's going to be pushing steadily northwards and eastwards as we go through the day. So after a bright start, we'll see the cloud encroach, and the wind is also going to strengthen behind this weather front. It's coming from a mild direction, though. It's coming up from the south. So note the temperatures in Plymouth, in Cardiff and in Belfast compared to the rest of the UK. You're in the milder conditions for sure. Now, as we head on through the evening and overnight, the rain continues to push northwards and eastwards. We could well see some snow for a time across parts of northern Scotland. A lot of cloud, again some murk around, and it's going to be another cold night for many, with a touch of frost likely across northeast England, parts of Scotland as well. But out towards the west, we're in the milder conditions. So a murky start to the day tomorrow. We've got this rain crossing us, the heaviest of which will be in Northern Ireland, Northern England and also parts of southern and southwestern Scotland. But tomorrow it's going to be unseasonably mild. Look at these temperatures, 10 to 13 degrees, but still rather cold across the northeast of Scotland. Sal and John.
OK, thank you very much.
A cold start to the day, really, wherever you are, with one or two exceptions. In fact, we've just had the coldest night of this winter so far. The temperature fell to -10.2 in Braemar, but these are the current temperatures. So as you see, for many, we are looking at a cold and a frosty start. Push out further west and it's not as cold. We're starting to see some milder air coming in, and we'll also have some rain. It's already coming in across Northern Ireland, and it's courtesy of this weather front here. Now, not particularly breezy ahead of it, but it will be windier as we go through the course of the day behind that weather front, noticeably so compared to of late. So some of us starting off with some clear skies, some of us on a bright note, but the cloud already in the west continuing to build as the rain comes in and pushes northeastwards. Wind strengthening behind it. It's a southerly wind, it's a milder direction, and that's reflected in the temperatures in Plymouth, Cardiff and also Belfast. Move into central and eastern areas, it's going to be another cold day. And as we head into the evening and overnight and this rain hits the cold air, not only are we likely to see some ice on untreated surfaces, we could see some snow in northern Scotland for a time as well. Through the night, there will be some clear skies. There'll be a fair bit of cloud around, and then the next band of rain is showing its hand. We could well see a touch of frost across parts of northeast England and eastern Scotland in sheltered areas, but not so out towards the west, where we're looking at overnight lows of 11 or 12. They would be pretty healthy daytime temperatures at this time of year. So our weather front continues tomorrow to move across much of the UK. A murky start, a lot of cloud around, some of that rain. The rain will be heaviest through the day across Northern Ireland, Northern England, moving into southern and southwestern Scotland. A road front still ahead of it, producing some rain, and behind it, a little bit brighter, particularly in Wales and the southwest. But note the temperatures. This is really mild for this time of year. Normally, north to south, we'd be looking at 6 to 8 degrees, but we still have an easterly flow across northeast Scotland. So here, it still is going to be cold. Now, as we head on into Friday, which of course is Christmas Eve, there'll be some low clouds, some mist and some fog early on if you are travelling. And then this rain comes in across the west. Ahead of it, still dry, still mild around this rain, but it's going to be cold across the far northeast. And then as we head into Christmas Day, we've got this battleground going on between the cold air and the mild air, and whether or not we're likely to see any snow. Now, the scenario at the moment is we might do, most of us won't have a white Christmas. We could, on current thinking, possibly see some snow in the hills in Northern Ireland, also Northern England and North Wales. Might see a little bit of sleet at lower levels, but all it takes is for this to nudge further north or further south, and that will change. Sal and John.
Oh my, I'm joking.
Let's clarify that. Most of us won't.
We're all looking at snow coming.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. We've just had the coldest night of this winter so far. Temperatures last night fell to -10.2 Celsius in Braemar. So a cold and frosty start, a wee bit milder in parts of the west where we've got rain coming in, and that will move northwards and eastwards through the day. I'll have all the details later in the programme. It will, John. Yes, the weather's going to turn more unsettled from today, really. For starters, it's a cold start and a frosty one for many of us. Temperatures last night fell to minus 10.2 in Braemar, but out towards the west, the temperatures aren't as low, and that's because of Northern Ireland. So some of us starting off on a bright note with some sunshine, but the cloud building all the time ahead of this band of rain moving in across Northern Ireland, western and southern Scotland, Northern England, and also Wales. Windy behind it, and that wind is salient because it's coming from a southerly direction. So note the temperatures in the west. They are higher than across central and eastern areas. Still pretty cold across the far north of Scotland. Now, as we head through the evening and overnight, this rain marches northeastwards again. We could see some ice for a time. We could even see some snow for a time in northern Scotland. And then behind it, a lot of dry weather, some clear skies before the next system comes in from the west. So western areas, once again, not as cold. But in sheltered glens in Scotland, perhaps across some sheltered parts of northern England, we could well see the odd pocket of frost. Tomorrow then, a murky start, a fair bit of cloud around, the rain crossing us, moving again northwards and also eastwards. Behind that, something drier. There'll still be a legacy of cloud, but there'll be some sunshine coming in later in the day across Wales and southwest England. But note those temperatures, mild for the time of year, but still cool across the northeast. John and Sal.
Carol, thank you.
Well, yes it is, but not today. Good morning, everybody. It is a cold start to the day. It'll be cold at Stonehenge. These are the kind of temperatures that will greet you if you're just stepping outside. Balmoral, -8. We've had the coldest night of this winter so far. In Braemar, the temperature fell to minus 10.2, but drift further west and temperatures are that bit higher. Now, that's because we've got a weather front coming in. It's already bringing some rain in across Northern Ireland. Behind it, note the isobars. It's going to be windier, but they're coming up from the south, so that's a much milder direction. So, a frosty start. There is a little bit of mist and fog around, but most of that will lift. The cloud's going to continue to build, and then we've got the rain sweeping in across Northern Ireland, Scotland, and also Northern England and Wales. Note the temperatures 9 and 9 in Plymouth and also Belfast, but still pretty nippy. If you're going out today, maybe doing some last minute Christmas shopping, you will need to wrap up warmly. Now, as we head through the evening and overnight, the rain continues to move northwards and eastwards across Scotland, falling as snow on higher ground for a time, but there is the risk of ice forming on untreated surfaces. For the rest of the country, a fair bit of cloud around, still some spots of rain, but where the cloud remains broken, for example, across parts of northern England, parts of Scotland, it will be cold enough for a touch of frost. Not so out towards the west, 11s and 12s. Now, as we go into tomorrow, this weather front that's coming in overnight continues to journey northwards and eastwards. So we're all going to start off on a cloudy note. We'll all see some rain at some stage during the day, but the heaviest will be across Northern Ireland, Northern England, southern and southwestern Scotland. Behind it, there'll still be a legacy of cloud, still 1 or 2 spots of rain, but later on it should brighten up across Wales and the southwest. But note those temperatures, 11s, 12s and 13s. In the north, in the cooler air, 5s, 6s and 7s. Normally at this stage in the year, we'd be looking at 6 in the north to 8 in the south. Hopefully later on I'll have time to bring you the Christmas forecast. But now back to John and Sal.
I look forward to that. Carol, thank you very much.
Good morning. We've just had the coldest night of this winter so far. Many of us waking up to a frost this morning, a little bit milder in the west. That's because we've got cloud and rain coming in, and that will spread northwards and eastwards through the day. I'll have all the details later in the programme. Well, it is a cold start to the day. You're not wrong there, John. There has been quite a widespread frost as well. In fact, we've had the coldest night of this winter so far, with the temperature falling to minus 10.2 Celsius in Braemar. Now, a Boyne is actually minus 9.6 at the moment, but of course it's rounded up to minus 10. Southampton minus 3, and generally it is a cold start to the day. However, in the west, temperatures are that little bit higher, and that is because we've got this weather front coming in, already bringing rain across Northern Ireland. Behind it, look at the isobars. The breeze is going to pick up, but it's coming from a southerly direction. So behind this rain, it will start to turn that bit milder. So some of us getting off to a bright start with beautiful sunrises, but the cloud is going to fill in through the course of the day as the rain pushes northwards and eastwards. A noticeable breeze out towards the west, 9 degrees in both Plymouth and Belfast. But if you are going out to do some last minute Christmas shopping, wrap up warmly because it will feel cold everywhere else. Now, through this evening and overnight, the rain continues to push northwards and eastwards. We could see some transient snow in northern Scotland and also the risk of ice on untreated surfaces here. And then we've got the next front coming in from the west, hence the higher temperatures in the west compared to the rest of the country. Now, tomorrow, that weather front will continue its journey, pushing northwards and also eastwards. So we're going to start off on Thursday on a murky note. There'll be a lot of cloud around. There will also be some rain, the lightest rain crossing the south, the heaviest rain moving across Northern Ireland, Northern England, Western and Southern Scotland. Now, behind this, look at the temperatures. It will brighten up a little bit. It'll still be a good legacy of cloud though, but 11 to 13 degrees. But in the easterly flow across the northeast of Scotland, it will still feel cold. Now, as we head on into Friday, which of course is Christmas Eve, well, you can see a fair bit of cloud around. We've also got this rain coming in from the southwest, pushing northeastwards, but staying largely dry across northeast Scotland, where we will see a little bit of sunshine. Still mild across some western and southern sides of the country, but in the northeast, well, it will feel that bit colder. And then we've got this battle going on between the cold air in the north and the mild air in the south. Now, exactly where we see some sleet or snow depends on who wins this battle. This cold air could sink a bit further south. The mild air could push a bit further north. So on Saturday, what we think at the moment, which is Christmas Day, we've got a weather front bringing some rain in across southern areas with a lot of cloud ahead of it. It will also be windy, particularly across the southwestern quarter. As we push further north, we're looking at dry conditions or drier conditions with some sunshine. If we see any sleet or snow, the snow's more likely on the hills, sleet more likely at lower levels. At the moment, we think it could be across Northern Ireland, North Wales, parts of Northern England and the Northwest Midlands. But that could all change, so do keep tuned to the weather forecast. John and Sal, just before I go, on Christmas Day in Perth, Australia, not Perth in Scotland, the temperature is expected to reach 41 degrees. That is almost 106 Fahrenheit. And if it reaches 42, that will be a record breaker for Perth, Australia on Christmas Day.
Well done for